Welcome to the Constitutional Convention of 1787 review. Government officials realized after Shays' Rebellion that a change was definitely needed for our country. It just wasn't able to handle the problems that were coming up. So they decided to have the Second Constitutional Convention. This convention included representatives from each state. They were all called to Philadelphia in 1787. 74 men were invited to come, but only 55 delegates actually attended. 12 states sent delegates, all but Rhode Island. Rhode Island was content with the way things were, and they didn't see any need for things to be changed. The delegates were given two choices when they arrived. One, fix the Articles of Confederation, which is what they all thought they were coming to do. Or they were presented with a new idea. Let's write an entire new plan for government instead of just trying to fix what we already have. Many were resistant at first, but eventually they all made the decision to write a new plan for government. Now their challenge was to create a strong national government, but one that would still leave the state governments with some power. Remember, many of the colonists were still afraid of a strong national government becoming a king or a tyrant and keeping them from being able to make their own decisions. Some of the delegates who attended were James Madison, and he read as many books as he could for the convention. He's known as the father of the Constitution because of the very detailed notes he took of the proceedings. Without his notes, we wouldn't really know what went on, what discussions or proposals were made, or even the arguments and reasonings they used for their decisions. George Washington came out of retirement for the convention, and due to his leadership during the American Revolution, he was chosen to be the president of the convention. Benjamin Franklin was the oldest delegate at age 81. He added his experience, his sense of humor to the discussions, and often helped keep arguments from getting out of control. Alexander Hamilton, a staunch supporter of a strong national government, he was Washington's personal secretary during the American Revolution. Now, some remarkable people that are absent from this list are Thomas Jefferson, who wrote the Declaration of Independence and helped with the first articles, and John Adams, who did the same. They were both overseas working abroad as ambassadors. And Patrick Henry, who had been such a strong supporter of the American Revolution, refused to come. He was afraid that they were going to replace the existing articles with a monarchy. He was right that there was something sneaky going on, but it wasn't a king. It was a whole new government. It was decided that the meetings during the Constitutional Convention would be kept secret. That way the delegates could speak their mind without being worried about outside people getting involved or being held accountable for anything that they said outside of the delegates. Guards were posted at the doors and all the windows were closed. The men were sworn not to speak of the meetings with anyone but other delegates, and never if they could be overheard. Now, that was quite a sacrifice. It was summer, and it was in Virginia. It's hot, it's humid, they didn't have air conditioning. So you can imagine that not only disagreements, but hot tempers from the temperature also made it very difficult to come to agreement. Not everyone agreed with this idea of secrecy. Some believed that discussions about government should be open to the public. Others, however, thought if word got out that they were doing more than just fixing the articles, they would never be allowed to create this stronger government. Protests would start and it would never be finished. They wanted to present the people with a fait accompli, a finished product that they could then see what their reasoning and their planning was. And there you have Constitutional Convention facts. The compromises of the Constitution will appear in the next presentation.